Okay, so this is the homework for this week, Unit 4, Lesson 3, and we're going to go through this fairly quickly because it's not too difficult. So let's take a look at part 1, which is turn the agent in the right direction. So you can see that this is the agent right here, and right now he's facing this direction. He's facing in the way of this orange block. Now obviously we want the agent to come to this block right here. So what do we need to do? This agent needs to turn right. So if he turns right, he is now facing this direction. So the answer here would be turn right. Now the same can be done here, but obviously you can't just turn right, because if you turn right, he's going to face this way, and if you turn left, he's going to face this way. So you turn left or turn right twice. Both are acceptable answers. Let's move on to part 2, facing the right way. So you can see that the agent, let's actually make that bigger, the agent is facing this way, and he needs to be facing this way to complete the shape. So you might be thinking, oh, he needs to turn right because this is on the right hand side. You need to think of this from the agent's point of view. So the agent is looking this way, and if the agent turned right, well actually, he'd be looking this way. So the agent needs to turn left because based on his point of view, this is left. Perfect. Okay. The next part here. Now you can see you have 4 things available. Place on, move off, on, move right, move up. The first thing we have to do is move up, and then we need to place on, move off. This is the second thing, so we'll actually label this right now. And then we need to move right, which again you might think is this way, but based on the direction the agent is facing, it's going to be this way. So we then turn right, and then we say place on, move on again, so that he's ready to start building the second layer like so. Perfect. Now I know this might be confusing depending on which way you are looking. Left and right are different. Think about it this way, right? So this is you, your eyes are facing in this direction. Right would now be here, and left would now be this direction. However, if you were looking this way and you were facing the other direction, well, your left would now be here and your right would now be here. So it's switched. So depending on which way you're turning, your left and right will switch, but just try and think of it in the perspective of whichever way you are facing or the agent is facing. And if you find it really difficult, right, you can actually face the direction the agent is facing and then put yourself in the agent's shoes. Great. Okay, so the next one is this right here. You can see that there's been a mistake. So we should have started here, but actually the agent started on this block right there. And that's the mistake, right? The mistake is that instead of starting in the correct place, the agent started in a block that was always one block to the left of where he should have started, right? Which created this compound effect, and you can see that's why we have this cascading shape. So the problem is that the agent did not start in the right place, and as an effect of the agent not starting in the right place, it made this cascading shape, which is basically a giant set of stairs. And that's the problem. Great. The next part is correcting the code. Now it might be difficult to do this without Minecraft, that's why I included this picture right here. It's the exact same picture from part 2 or part 3, I can't exactly remember the part, but it's the same image as the one we saw a few minutes ago. So you can see that this is the code that creates this shape, right? So what needs to be added to the code so the agent moves to the correct place to start the second layer? So let's work this way, or let's work through this together. Okay. And as you can see, before adding agent move up by 1, this is what the code makes. So before we add this right here, this is what the agent creates. So what needs to be added to the code so that the agent moves to the correct place? Well, we need to add this again, this agent move up by 1, which brings them up here. Let's actually make this clearer, which brings them up, do it in white, which brings them up here. And then we need to switch off place on move, then move right, then switch on place and move, and then he can start moving forward, right? But we're not going to write move forward because all we want to do is to move to the correct place so that the agent can start the second layer. We're not trying to do the second layer, we're just starting the second layer. So really quickly, it's agent move up by 1. So right here, move up. Place on move, POM, is going to be switched off. Then move right. Not turn right, move right, which is different things, right? So imagine this is me. If I move right, I'm going to move this way. If I turn right, I'm just going to be facing this way. Two different things. And then we're going to say POM back on. And this is what we need to do to make it so that our agent starts in the same place. But obviously we already have this move up, so we get rid of that. So we only need these 3 things right here. So hopefully that was clear and it wasn't too difficult. I trust that it was fairly easy to do because you guys are very smart and you're getting used to moving the agent now. And in the next lesson we're going to be looking at creating similar shapes, but each layer is going to be a different color. We're going to create this cascading or rainbow effect that's going to be really, really, really cool. So I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Have lots of fun and I'll see you very soon.